Hi, I'm Mike Malaska, Director of Instruction at Superstition Mountain Golf Club in Phoenix, Arizona. I just want to congratulate you on probably doing the best thing you can do for your game, and that's buying the inside approach. The golf swing is basically a path and club face control game. You need to have immediate feedback as to what your path is doing. Most people, because this game is visually very difficult, you think you're doing something when in reality you're really not. The inside approach will help you to understand exactly what you're doing with the club to make sure that your practice time is more valuable and that you get what you want out of the game. Now, no matter how good the inside approach is with your path, which it will help you understand that, there are some basic fundamentals that you need to know in your golf swing to get the most out of what we're going to do here today. It starts right with grip. When you place your hands on this golf club or instrument, if you were to just let your arms hang in front of you and you take a look at how your lead arm hangs, that's the one that's going to control that club face through impact. So if we get this left arm, if it hangs here, we're going to have to get that left hand very close to how your arm hangs naturally. So when your left arm straightens out, that face comes back to square. So it's critical to have your left hand on the club correctly. Plus, if you look at my left hand here, it's in my fingers. Most people tend to get the club way too much in the palm of their left hand. You lose a lot of leverage, you lose control of the face. So if you get your left hand on the club, the way it hangs natural, in the fingers, your right hand comes in with your right palm facing the target. And it goes right on the back of your left thumb with your right palm at the target. Now your right hand is going to support that club shaft through impact. If you get your grip on there right, the club face shouldn't be that big a problem. If your grip's wrong, you can only do so much with the game. The next thing is we come to posture. When you set up to the golf ball, you need to have room for your arms to swing. Most people set up too slouched, too rounded in their back to where there's no room for your arms to swing. So you've got to be balanced, which means your toes and your shoes are very quiet. Your hips move back, that creates room for your arms to swing. Now, if I were to take a line out of my shoulder, that line is going to come down just outside or even with my toe. A lot of people get bent out too far, out over the ball, so then they pull up into it, and you'll run right into that every single time. Or sometimes people get sitting way too back on their heels, and so they take the club away. Then when they move this way, again, you're going to run into it. So if we get your grip correct, we get your posture good, and from this angle, posture, we need a little bit of tilt, top to base, away from the target. So you need to be tilted a little. That'll help you to get turned more and get the club coming more from the inside. Now the last thing is what we've got to do with the club face. Practicing to rotate this left forearm and learning how to make that move right there, that's what controls the face. When you get on the inside approach, immediately your path will change. Your shoulders won't open up as fast, but you still have to allow this left arm to rotate. That's what's going to square the club face on the ball for you. So if you spend a little bit of time making sure that's correct, you're going to see a lot of progress, not only in your path, but your control of the flight of the golf ball. You might wonder why this club is on the ground. The reason the club is on the ground is because obviously in golf, aim is critical. You need to have a club on the ground to get set up so you know your posture, your hips, your shoulders, and your eyes are lined up parallel to the target line. That's if you don't have the inside approach. But if you have the inside approach, you don't need this club. You could pick it up and throw it away because you have something there that gives you a sense of where the target line is and how to get everything lined up to it. So it becomes not that important. Now I'd like to just talk a little bit here for a second about Jim Sourwine, who's put this all together. I can tell you, all the time I spend teaching, the immediate feedback of ball flight and path are the most important things in a golf swing. That's what the game's all about, control the flight of the ball. Jim's put together an item here that for all of you, good players, I don't care if you're a tour player, if you're a 2 handicap or a 30 handicap, you can all benefit from getting immediate feedback and understanding exactly what your path's doing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to Jim. We're going to let him explain just how to get everything out of the inside approach. Have a lot of fun with it, and I know you're going to be better players.
Welcome, and thank you for watching this video. I think you're in for a special treat. Let me show you how simple it is to put together. You'll pull out what we call the elbow, take the legs out, stick the legs in, and then we take what we call the neck and we put it on, and then we pull out the cushion, snap it on, and you're ready to go. Simply now just take it, set it down, aim it at your target, and you're ready to go. Let me show you how simple it is. Pull out a golf ball, put it directly under the cushion. We've got this aimed at our target line. Go ahead and set up, and I think you're ready to go. It's that simple. If your tendency is to slice, let me show you how to go about using this. When you set, obviously you've aimed this at the cushion. This may look a little intimidating at first. So what I recommend is to put a tee down directly under the elbow and make a few swings with the tee. Don't worry about whether you're going to hit it. You know if you hit it, it's going to come off. It's not going to hurt you. So make a few practice swings with a tee down to get used to the feel of it swinging. Real easy. Make some practice swings real easy right under it. Get used to the feel. You'll have a feel that you've really never felt before. If your tendency is to come from out to in, you're going to feel stuck. When you swing from the inside, you're going to feel a nice release of the club. So I recommend do it real slow at first and then gradually start to pick up speed, and then eventually you can get into a full swing. And if you can do it and hit the tee a handful of times, then try a golf ball, I think you're going to be in business. If you've already tried the product out before watching this video, you may have found a couple problems. You either hit the cushion a couple times, more times than you'd like, or you hit the ground before you hit the ball. Don't worry, there's a simple solution to that. What's happening is that when you swing the club down, or what you have been doing is swinging the club down too steep, and then now you try to go under the cushion, your tendency is now to hit the ground before the golf ball. That's pretty common. We see that quite a bit. Let me turn the inside approach and show you why your tendency may be to hit the ground before you hit the golf ball. What really is happening is that you're not transferring your weight before you swing. Let me show you. As you swing the club back, you must have a little bit of weight transfer to allow the club to bottom out at the correct place. If you swing down and don't transfer your weight, you're going to hit behind it. You could be falling backwards. Either which way, we must get our weight transferring with our lower body before we swing our arms. It's the same athletic endeavor as you would use in just about any sport that you play. If your tendency is to hit pushes and hooks, let me show you how to use the inside approach now. Simply turn it around, set it to where your right foot was, flip the cushion over, put your right foot between the legs, and now you can see as if I were to swing down too far underneath, which is the cause of hitting a hook and a push. Understand, if I'm hitting hooks and pushes, my club is coming too far from the inside. Why is that making it hook? Well, because the more my club comes from the inside, my hands are going to flip or turn over. It's the same reason as a baseball swing. The more horizontal your circle, or the more the circle gets to the inside, the faster your hands turn due to centrifugal force. Not that you're trying to flip, it's just going to happen the more horizontal the circle gets. So if I were to come too far to the inside, my hands are going to flip, I'm going to hit a hook. I hit the hook, and the next thing I do is, this one's not going to go left, so I'm going to make the same swing, I hold on, and now I hit a block. Really the same swing, it was a different grip pressure. Problem was that the club was coming down too far to the inside. So when you set this up, you can give yourself some parameters, and let's say I want to learn how to hit a cut. I've been hitting hooks, I want to learn how to start my ball down the target line and then let it fall to the right. Well, I would set it down to where I make a swing. Well, if I can swing it back on plane, I can see this, then I can come back down on plane. If I came down too far to the inside, now I'm going to know it. When I hit it, I'm going to knock the cushion off. I'm not going to hurt myself. Well, let me go ahead and show you that visually, it's such a neat cue to know if you've been too far to the inside, it's going to help your swing get right back on plane, and now you can hit it either straight ball or that little fade that you might be looking for that you haven't been able to pull off because you've been too far underneath. When using the inside approach with a driver or a longer club, just simply stand a little bit further from it. How do you know how far to stand from it? Well, if you can make a backswing, then you should be able to make a downswing on the same plane. If you're a little inside, that's going to be intimidating. If you're on plane, you're going to know it immediately. You know, something I'd like you to touch on is that you and I both see these golfers that are over the top and they get stuck. We get the chicken wing.
Yeah, they're going to find this down the fairway somewhere.
That's right. Exactly. So could you explain a little bit about when you get the club from the inside, how that helps you to release the club versus when you're steep?
Well, when I first learned how to play the game of golf, Jack Grout took me and he didn't let me play without letting my ankles leave the ground. My first year I played golf. I went back here with my left ankle on the ground and I stayed with my right ankle on the ground right here. It's an old Alec Morrison, Henry Pickard type situation. Boom, boom. And what did that do for me? Well, first of all, it got me here, but when I left this right ankle here, what did it do? It got the club released here. You're not up and out over to here. You're inside, you release the club here, and the club passes through on an inside arc. And that's really what you're trying to do. And that was the fundamentals that I learned how to play the game. I thought they were great fundamentals. I think Alec Morrison had a great thing for learning how to hit the golf ball to start with. Beyond that point, then I think then they allowed me to release my left heel and then allowed me to release my right heel. But it got me on a plane of swinging shallow and from the inside. And that's really what the inside approach does. It gets you shallow and from the inside and gets you in a complete release on a shallow angle here.
And most golfers have a hard time knowing what that feels like, releasing the club, because they're too steep, they never really have felt a release.
If they do release it, Jimmy, it's out here past the ball.
Right.
But they've got it on top of the ball. You must be in this position here, the club here, and then club passes, the right passes over the left.
Let me show you another added benefit of the inside approach and how it can improve your chipping. If you have a tendency to scull the ball or hit it fat when you chip, most likely what you're doing is as you swing, you're swinging from low to high. And when you do that, your tendency is going to be to hit the ground first, either behind the golf ball or swing up, and you'll know it immediately. As you use the inside approach and you set it up, very simple just to turn it and set it over here, practice making some swings where when you swing the club back, just to get your swing to swing back to the left and back lower. Let me show you. Remember, the swing in chipping should be a swing that goes from high to low. If I can go from high to low, I'm going to be able to hit some solid chips. Set it up at an angle in which it allows the club to swing back to the left. If you have a tendency to swing up too high, you'll immediately know it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sure the inside approach will help your game as it has many of my students.